What's up, Spider fans? Today, we're diving into the ultimate Spider-Verse. From comics to live action, we're talking about every Spider-Man ever to swing into action across the multiverse. So grab your webs and get ready for a wild ride through the world of Spider-People from all dimensions. Let's get started. Starting with plain Peter Parker from Earth 958, we encounter a world where Peter Parker is not Spider-Man at all. Instead, Flash Thompson takes on the mantle but uses his newfound powers selfishly, seeking fame and fortune while bullying Peter into creating gadgets for him. However, Peter's resolve and ingenuity shine when he realizes the need to stop Flash's criminal rampage. Armed with his cleverly designed gadgets, Peter defeats Flash and earns an invitation to join the Fantastic Four, proving heroism lies in character, not superpowers. Then there's the quirky yet unforgettable Golden Sponge Cake Spider-Man from Earth 5194, a version of the hero whose primary weapon is Hostess Snack Cakes. Originating as a humorous advertisement in Marvel Comics during the 1970s, this Spider-Man uses sugary treats to outsmart his foes. While undeniably amusing, his reliance on snack cakes for crime fighting has its limits. Unfortunately, his unconventional approach leads to his demise during the Spider-Verse event, reminding us that even the sweetest strategies aren't foolproof in the perilous multiverse. One of the youngest and most endearing iterations is Spider-Girl, Penelope Parker, from Earth 11, who gained her spider powers at just 11 years old during a school field trip. Despite her youth, Penelope takes on crime fighting with a cartoonish charm, embodying the essence of Spider-Man while still lacking the physical strength of her older counterparts. As she grows older and hones her abilities, Penelope is destined to become a more formidable hero. But for now, she remains a delightful lower-tier member of the Spider-Verse. From the wild and imaginative world of Marvel apes comes Spider-Monkey of Earth 8101, an alternate Peter Parker whose universe is populated entirely by apes. After being bitten by a radioactive spider, Spider-Monkey develops the powers of Spider-Man, but faces limitations due to his simian physiology and reduced intelligence. Though he swings into action with all the agility of his human counterpart, his strategic thinking leaves much to be desired, making him less effective against more heavy villains in the Spider-Verse. And then there's Pete Spider-Man of Earth 91279, perhaps one of the most deliberately underwhelming Spider-Man variants ever introduced. First appearing in Edge of Spider-Verse number 4, Pete is a certified public accountant whose last name just happens to be Spider-Man. Unlike other Spider people, Pete's abilities are as unremarkable as his demeanor, resembling those of an out-of-shape spider. With his pride centered more on his award-winning lawn than superheroics, Pete serves as a hilarious reminder that not all Spider-Men are destined for greatness, and that's perfectly okay. On Earth 18139, Flash Thompson takes up the mantle of Spider-Man in a darker twist on the familiar origin story. After being bitten by a radioactive spider, Flash followed a path similar to Peter Parker's, dabbling in wrestling and later attempting to become a superhero. However, Flash's violent tendencies alienated the public despite the support of the Daily Bugle. Tragedy struck when, in a moment of rage, Flash accidentally killed Peter Parker. Racked with guilt, he turned himself in, abandoning his superhero life in a poignant reminder of the burden of power. Next, Web Weaver from Earth 71490 shines as an inspiring and fashion-forward addition to the Spider-Verse. Introduced as Marvel's first gay Spider-Man, Cooper Cohen gained his powers by saving his version of Peter Parker from being bitten by a radioactive spider. Web Weaver exudes elegance and heroism, always putting others before himself. His refined abilities, including a heightened web sense, keep him safe from danger, though he isn't the most physically powerful spider hero. What Cohen lacks in brute force, he makes up for with an indomitable spirit and the values that define Spider-Man at his core. Then there's the inspiring Sun Spider from Earth 2023, also known as Charlotte Charlie Weber. Introduced in Edge of Spider-Verse issue 4, Charlotte lives with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and faces ableism in her everyday life. Despite these challenges, Sun Spider demonstrates extraordinary resilience and courage, using crutches that double as web shooters to take down villains, including her world's Dr. Octopus. Another remarkable addition is May Parker from Earth 982, the daughter of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. In this universe, Peter and Mary Jane finally achieved their happily ever after, resulting in the birth of their daughter May. Inheriting a mix of her parents' DNA, May has spider-like abilities slightly weaker than her father's but still formidable. As Spider-Girl and later Spider-Woman, May proves herself a capable fighter and protector of her world, embodying her family's legacy while forging her own path as a hero. Next is one of the most iconic and unconventional variants is SpiderMan from Earth 51778, the Japanese Spider-Man introduced in the 1978 Toei TV series. Instead of Peter Parker, this Spider-Man is Takuya Yamashiro, whose abilities are somewhat limited compared to other spider heroes due to the show's budget constraints. However, SpiderMan compensates with his iconic giant robot, Leopardon, which boosts his combat prowess. While his skills might not match those of other spider heroes, his larger-than-life battles and cultural impact have earned him a place in the Spider-Verse and even on Earth 616 in Marvel Comics. Then there is Betty Brant from Earth 78227. In yet another alternate universe, Daily Bugle employee Betty Brant was bitten by a radioactive spider during Peter's field trip rather than Peter himself, causing her to create the alternate identity of Spider-Girl. Spider-Girl's abilities were completely identical to those of the Peter Parker that most fans know, and she was even able to have similar equipment to our Spider-Man, because Spider-Girl actually befriended the Peter from her universe who helped her to make her web shooters and learn her abilities. Next is Spider-Moon-Man from Earth 449 represents an alternate Peter Parker who lived on a colonized moon in New Lunar York. His life mirrored that of the classic Peter Parker, complete with a job at the Daily Bugle and a love for Mary Jane. However, Spider-Moon-Man's time in the spotlight was tragically short. During the Spider-Verse event, he became one of Morland's first victims, never getting the chance to prove his potential as a hero among the multiverse's elite. Then there is Spider-UK. Billy Braddock from Earth 833 brought a British twist to the Spider-Man persona. Initially trained under Captain Britain, Billy discovered spider powers that led him to become a unique protector of his homeland. Spider-Man India, Paviter Prabhakar from Earth 5101, introduces the Spider-Man mythos to a rich cultural landscape. His origin differs slightly. Paviter's abilities were a gift from an ancient yogi rather than the result of a radioactive spider bite. Despite these differences, Paviter's story closely parallels Peter Parker's, including familial bonds with Aunt Maya and Uncle Beam, and a romance with Mira Jane. Next, in Earth 616, Spider-Man clones bring added complexity to the Spider-Verse. Kane Parker, the first attempt at cloning Peter Parker, suffered from cellular degeneration, resulting in physical mutations and a more aggressive personality. His abilities included precognitive visions and the chilling Mark of Cain, a burning acid print he left on his enemies. Meanwhile, Ben Reilly, another clone, overcame his identity crisis to become the sensational Spider-Man, donning an iconic dark blue costume with a chest-spanning spider emblem. Ben's tenure as Spider-Man proved that even as a clone, he could uphold Peter's legacy in his own unique way. Next is Spider-Wolf from Earth 13989. Spider-Wolf is an alternate version of Spider-Man from Earth 13989. This version combines Spider-Man's classic powers like wall crawling and web slinging with the curse of lycanthropy, transforming him into a werewolf. With enhanced strength, speed, and agility, Spider-Wolf stands out among the multiverse's spider heroes. However, his story remains a mystery as he only appeared once in the Spider-Verse storyline. Next is Spider-Punk from Earth 138. Spider-Punk, also known as Hobie Brown, represents the rebellious spirit of the punk rock movement. Sporting a spiked mask and wielding an electric guitar, he uses his powers to fight against tyranny, especially President Norman Osborn in his world. Though his origins are in the comics, Spider-Punk gained mainstream recognition after his cinematic debut in Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse. His punk aesthetic and anti-establishment attitude make him a standout in the Spider-Verse. Next is Man-Spider from Earth 92131. He is a horrifying take on Peter Parker's mutation, showing it spiraling out of control and transforming him into a grotesque creature with extra limbs, fangs, and claws. This version was first introduced in the Spider-Man animated series in 1994, with the concept later appearing in Earth 616 comics as the result of Calvin Szabo's experiments, emphasizing the tragic potential of Spider-Man's powers. Then, SpiderMan from Earth 111580, first seen in Spider-Geddon number 3, 2018, is a creepy and unique variant formed when Peter Parker fell into a colony of radioactive spiders, which consumed him and adopted his consciousness as a hive mind. Mimicking Peter's abilities, SpiderMan is essentially a mass of spiders operating together and is nearly impossible to kill. As long as one spider survives, SpiderMan lives on. Next is Spider-Man 2099, from Earth 928 introduces Miguel O'Hara, who accidentally imbued himself with 50% spider DNA, gaining powers similar to Earth 616 Spider-Man with some unique enhancements. First appearing in Spider-Man 2099, 1992, Miguel's abilities include telepathy, night vision, organic webs, talons, and venomous fangs capable of immobilizing enemies. His agility, speed, and strength make him a formidable protector of Nueva York in the year 2099. Then, Penny Parker from Earth 14512, featured in Edge of Spider-Verse 5, 2014, and Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse operates the mech suit via a psychic link with a radioactive spider. Inspired by anime aesthetics, Penny's advanced suit, powered by magnetic levitation, grants her many spider-like abilities, even though she lacks powers of her own. Next, Charlie Parker from Earth 218, also known as Spider-Kid, has a darker origin, growing up in abusive circumstances and eventually acquiring spider powers. First gaining attention for targeting gang members and drug dealers to survive, Charlie's story highlights a gritty, street-level heroism shaped by hardship. Then, Ultimate Spider-Man from Earth 1610, introduced in Ultimate Spider-Man 1, 2000, brings a darker tone to Peter Parker's story. In this universe, his parents died in a car crash, and he gained his powers from a spider bite at Oscorp. With abilities like self-resurrective immortality and regeneration, this version of Spider-Man is both resilient and deeply grounded in the shadowy reality of the Ultimate Universe. Then, Father Spider, hailing from Earth 616, is the Spider-Man of another world in the Milky Way galaxy and the leader of the Galactic Alliance of Spider-Men. As the oldest and wisest member, he guides the group in setting policies for 100,000 worlds, ensuring that great power always comes with great responsibility. Dr. Max Bourne, known as Spider-Man 2211 from Earth 9500, is a time spinner, a temporal police team leader from the year 2211, tasked with preventing disruptions in the time stream. His advanced armor, featuring 4 mechanized arms, enhances his superhuman strength, agility, and endurance. Bourne collaborated with Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099 to defeat the Hobgoblin of 2211, later revealed to be his daughter, Robin Bourne. Tragically, after Robin's erasure from reality due to her own retcon bomb, Max was seemingly killed by the chameleon posing as Uncle Ben. Next is Cosmic Spider-Man from Earth 13, wields the immense powers of the Enigma Force, making him one of the most powerful beings in the multiverse. As Captain Universe, he can manipulate matter, energy, and reality itself, serving as a protector of the multiverse and showcasing the extraordinary potential of Spider-Man with godlike abilities. Next, Spider, hailing from Earth 91202, is a French parkour enthusiast who gained spider-like abilities after being bitten by an extraterrestrial spider engineered in a space station laboratory. Additionally, Spider possesses bioluminescent powers, enabling him to emit intense light to blind adversaries, and his super-dense skin grants him limited invulnerability, including immunity to extreme temperatures and the vacuum of space. Next is Lady Spider from Earth 803, an alternate version of a younger Aunt May, stands out with her ingenuity and determination. After being bitten by a spider in her father's lab, May didn't gain superpowers but learned a valuable lesson about freedom and resilience. Using her scientific brilliance, she built a mechanically enhanced spider suit with spider-like appendages similar to the Iron Spider suit. As Lady Spider, she fights crime despite lacking the brute strength of her counterparts, showcasing that heroism is about heart and intellect, not just power. Next, we delve into the gritty and shadowy world of Spider-Man Noir from Earth 90214, a 1930s-era Peter Parker who trades traditional Spider-Man abilities for sharp detective skills and brutal fighting techniques. Inspired by the likes of the Punisher and Sherlock Holmes, Spider-Man Noir investigates crimes with relentless tenacity, using his web-slingers to gain an edge over his adversaries. This version of Spider-Man has gained widespread recognition, especially after his appearance in the Spider-Verse movies, with rumors swirling about a potential spin-off that could explore his dark, film noir-inspired world further. Next is Old Man Spider from Earth 4, also known as Ezekiel Sims, steps into the role of Spider-Man after Peter Parker's passing. Serving as the Spider-Verse's equivalent of Old Man Logan, Ezekiel retains Peter's core abilities but carries the wear and tear of age. Despite his years, Old Man Spider remains one of the most battle-hardened and experienced heroes in the multiverse, proving that time-tested wisdom can rival youthful strength. On a much lighter note, we meet the hilarious Spider-Ham from Earth 8311, the Peter Porker. In this universe, every hero and villain is reimagined as an animal, from Croctor Strange to Whoopi Goldfish. Spider-Ham possesses abilities remarkably similar to Peter Parker, including wall crawling, web slinging, and super strength. His charm and comedic timing make him a standout character, beloved for adding levity to the often intense Spider-Verse. Then there's Dr. Aaron Aikman from Earth 31411, a Spider-Man who didn't gain his powers by accident but through deliberate scientific experimentation. Aaron merged his DNA with that of a spider, but the process didn't grant him the same level of innate abilities as other spider heroes. To compensate, he built a high-tech mechanical suit that allows him to fight crime with enhanced strength and agility. While his suit makes him a formidable combatant, without it, his powers are relatively weak compared to his Spider-Verse counterparts. Nonetheless, his scientific brilliance and determination cement his place in the multiverse's web of heroes. Then there is Peter Ross, known as Spider-Boy. In the Amalgam universe is a unique fusion of Marvel's Spider-Man and DC Comics' Superboy. Created by Project Cadmus as a clone of researcher Peter Parker, he gained the ability to manipulate gravity, enabling him to walk on walls, enhance his strength, and leap great distances. After the death of his adoptive guardian, General Thunderbolt Ross, Peter adopted the Spider-Boy persona, becoming both a celebrity and a Cadmus agent tasked with combating genetic monstrosities. Finally, the last Spider-Man from Earth 31500 is an older, battle-hardened Peter Parker living in a dystopian future. Despite enduring countless losses and the decay of his world, he remains steadfast in his fight against crime, driven by his unshakable sense of responsibility. Bonus Spider-Man. In the 1970s, the Amazing Spider-Man TV series brought a live-action version of Peter Parker to television. Played by Nicholas Hammond, this version was relatively low-budget but gained a cult following. Spider-Gwen. From Earth 65, Gwen Stacy is bitten by a radioactive spider instead of Peter Parker. Now, she's Spider-Woman, rocking out as the drummer in the band, the Mary Janes. But here's the twist. Her dad, Police Chief George Stacy, is hunting her down, not knowing she's his daughter. She's become a fan favorite, even getting her own comic series. Next, meet Arachnido Jr., the son of a Mexican luchador. After his dad is betrayed in the ring, young Arachnido gains spider powers and steps up to protect Mexico City, donning his father's iconic wrestling mask. He's a vigilante with a heart full of justice. Say hello to Spider-Rex, aka Terp Tarker from Earth 66. This prehistoric Spider-Man was once a pteranodon who got hit by a meteor and swapped bodies with a T-Rex. Now, he's a giant web-slinging dinosaur fighting to protect the multiverse as a member of the Spider Society. From Earth 346, it's Sakura Spider. Haruka Hida is a fiery Japanese hero with a love for traditional samurai and Deadpool. She joins the samurai squad to defend Japan, all while battling evil and discovering shocking secrets about idol Nero Aratabi. Meet Spinstress, or Princess Petra, from Earth 423. A royal with spider powers, she fights crime using her agility, organic webbing, and royal flair. Her story is like a fairy tale mixed with the Spider-Verse. Superheroes and princesses. What's not to love? Introducing Spider-Bite, a cybernetic hero from Earth 22,191. Margot Kess is a digital vigilante, fighting cyber threats with her tech skills and spider powers. She used to be with Miguel O'Hara's Spider Society, but now fights alongside Gwen Stacy's Spider Gang. And then, Web-Slinger from Earth 31,913. In this Wild West reality, Patrick O'Hara is a cowboy who becomes Spider-Man after being bitten by a radioactive spider. On horseback, he's out to stop vampires like Morbius and join the Spider Society to protect the multiverse. Now, let's talk about the OG Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. From the Raimi trilogy, he became the face of Spider-Man for a generation, fighting villains like the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Venom. His iconic "with great power comes great responsibility" line will forever be legendary. Next, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man series. A younger, snarkier Spider-Man, he brought new energy to the role, facing villains like the Lizard and Electro while struggling with the loss of Gwen Stacy. Now we have Tom Holland's Spider-Man. The MCU's Peter Parker is a young, tech-savvy hero who navigates high school life while dealing with epic villains like Vulture, Mysterio, and the Sinister Six. His journey is all about balancing his heroism with personal sacrifice. Then, Miles Morales from Earth 1610. After being bitten by a radioactive spider, Miles inherits powers similar to Peter Parker's, but with a unique twist. He's a fan-favorite hero who proves anyone can wear the mask, especially in Into the Spider-Verse. That's a wrap, folks. With so many Spider-Men out there, it's amazing how many ways our favorite hero can take shape. But now it's your turn. Who's your favorite Spidey from the multiverse? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss out on more awesome content like this. Until next time, stay spectacular.